Here we ask one to visualize themselves approaching their heart. Witness a beautiful staircase appear before thee, as one now rides this beautiful staircase up to the heart center, where heavenly clouds and a golden gate awaits thee. Is thy gate opened or closed? It's up to thee. At its gate, there's a lock in the shape of a heart, as your cosmic inner child holds a golden key. Thy child may be any age, any gender, any species, any animal, any race it wishes to be. Allow them to shape-shift now into whatever form you wish to see. And it is here in thy allowance of allowing thy child to express freely the key unlocks the chamber to your cosmic heart core now, revealing a beautiful golden white light as these gates open completely. You step into the portal of white light as the archway of love now graces thee. Here and stepping through this portal now, you can feel yourself being electrified, recalibrated, changing really. For here all that used to be is now left on the other side of the gate as you enter your absolute reality, your true self fully, where all that remains now is the you, the love, the unique ray of expression love created you to be. Here you follow a beautiful golden path laid across rainbow clouds, leading to a crystalline white castle. As you approach this door, you see it's coated in a beautiful shimmering blue door. The cosmic child takes thy hand and says, "Are you ready to go inside and witness this with me? This is the portal to witness thy cosmic mother and all the stories you got to see." You take a deep breath as if to brace yourself, for you do not know what will be on the other side of the door waiting for thee. But you do so willingly as you allow thy child to lead. Upon entering, you see something that looks like a church chapel and a classroom combined. And so you walk down the aisle and you sit at the front seat. And in front of you is a big projection screen. The cosmic inner child hands you a remote and says, "When you are ready, press play, and we will begin to see as we will now recalibrate all of the teachings and mastery that no longer service thee." You take a second and you pause and you say, "Why, dearest me?" as your child explains, everything that you've learned up until this moment now has brought you to this moment now. But now as you have access to me, to the cosmic core, to infinite wisdom within thee, as you are now your God self embodied, no one outside can teach thee. Everything that you learned is just a baseline, and some of it served its purpose and needs to be released. For that only pertained to an old density, an old reality that no longer services thee. You take a deep breath and you say, okay, I'm ready. As you press play, you begin to see what looks like your life story. It begins here in the womb, as you can hear your mother speaking to thee. You can feel her worry about the world that you are about to receive, constantly worrying, projecting it onto thee, as you turn to your child and say, I felt all of this when I was in the womb. Yes, dearest me, for the moment that you chose to manifest into reality, you began to clear the false mother matrix programming of survive, thrive, and stay alive. And that began here in the womb. Take a moment to place your hand on your heart, so you can now feel how much this scared thee, to know that you are coming into the world to do and accomplish such mastery. Here your cosmic child places their hand on your heart as they remind thee, while you have the memories of lower density, I will always show you the cosmic perspective to bridge it now in harmony. Here you feel the opposite spectrum, as that cosmic self in the womb, who wasn't scared at all, but was empowered really, who chose to love on thy mother, even though they were fearful. You were clearing their karmic debt, their ancestral wounds, and everything that you didn't want to see. From the moment inception came to be, here you smile. I was always pretending, wasn't I? You say to your child, as they nod for thee. You were always a master from the moment you came to be, and that meant that you came in to teach all around thee, to be the reflection they needed to see, to help them release this programming that does not service anybody. For here the false mother matrix was built on the programming of fear, of a life within density, a belief that one is not safe to be. But you, as your God self, as God embodied, you knew this coming in, and you knew through your pureness, through your stance, that just your energy could set it free. Here you continue to press play on this slideshow of a story as it goes to the next scene. Here you witness yourself being birthed. And as the entirety, you could feel the pain that your mother felt giving birth to thee. But that pain came from, well, resistance really. Because you were love itself, and she was birthing love through a limited body. But as you attune to your cosmic child self, you see even her higher self, was so joyous and blissful at all that was coming to be. The next few years fast forward quickly like moments on a screen where you knew you were always God, but then you started to be taught who and what you could be. Here, your mother serviced as the reflection of the very matrix you came to set free, where every time they challenged thee, because they were trying to protect thee within a lower density. Every time they thought that you were being naive, that you were being mischievous, that they reprimanded thee for doing what felt right in the cosmic flow of harmony. You were secretly clearing and paving the way for a new absolute reality, for you always knew joy was the way. You always knew we were meant to be here and play. But first you had to gain compassion, you see. You had to witness the matrix to live it, so that you could love it so much and set it free. Here you took on the schooling, the jobs, everything they wanted thee to achieve. Or even if you didn't have a mother, that mother matrix appeared to thee through women figures throughout history, through teachers, through mentors, through idols you saw on screens. They all became a reflection of what you idolized, because, well, you wanted thy mother to love thee. And so one gave into the programming and did what they thought they needed to be. For just like thy mother, and the mother before that mother, and the mother before that mother, they were told by reality whom and what one could be, learning to operate according to the matrix, according to reality. Believing that this world wasn't safe because of all the destruction they got to see. And here is where you truly get to see how one was playing the inner child for them, reflecting their own inner child that wanted to be free. For in truth, you are your God self. You never needed to be healed. You came to heal your family, your ancestry, the hearth in its entirety. And so you played these roles to set others free, pretending to be the wounded child, while you were actually just showing them where their love wanted to be. And as now beautiful angels and celestial beings surround thee as they begin to recalibrate thyself, thy mind, quantumly, clearing all of these old limiting programming and beliefs across your entirety. For you no longer need to play that reflection to assist the Earth Mother Matrix in transcending her own stories, for in witnessing them now with such love, not in rejection but in acceptance and understanding. You shower it with your very light and purity. For now you see, this is what the Mother didn't understand. It wanted to keep you pure. It wanted to keep your innocence in a world that it thought wasn't pure, you see. And so here it tried to keep you safe by telling you who you are, what you need to do in order to provide for yourself so that you would be safe in this limited reality. Which meant giving into society, living in the programming. Which is all reflected in everything you got to see, from the indoctrinated beliefs of going to school, of government, of politics, of giving into authority, understanding finances and money, of working hard to achieve, that being liked and being successful ensured your safety. While your child was peacefully in your heart, waiting, knowing that one day it would be set free when you release the Mother Matrix, which is transpiring in this now through one's purity. For it was here in the very pure innocence of your essence, by living all of these stories, you were setting them free. You were showering them with your very light to recalibrate the entirety. Here, every time you chose joy, you chose to play, you chose to spend money to support what you truly wanted, to receive, realizing that money is simply just energy. You were feeding into the reality that you knew would be. Every time you chose what brought you joy and creativity over what society wanted you to believe, you were supporting your true self, birthing it forward into being. Here, many of you began to embrace your spirituality, your creativity, which then transpired into more mastery and more schooling. And so as you press play on the screen again, you begin to see everything that you were taught in books, everything that you learned to become the master you now are, no longer services thee. For as you enter into the cosmic core, where everything is light, vibration, and frequency, it no longer matters how much schooling you received, what degrees you've achieved, what you've accomplished in your manifested reality. All that matters is how attuned you are to the cosmic child within thee, to the heart of Source, because Source is all-knowing already. And so here we begin to recalibrate one of the deepest seated beliefs, which is that you're not ready, for that's what the Matrix tries to tell thee. that you still have more to learn, more to do, more to be before you could be this master, because you're incomplete. You need to be a guru, you need to do this, is what it tells thee. That you were too young, too innocent to possibly know this mastery. And yet, here within thy heart, all of the masters now live within thee. As you begin to witness now in your moments of peace, of stillness, of just painting and creativity, you aren't just painting, you see, you are bringing in very source essence through your hymns, through your presence, through your melodies. You were always moving as source, but it was being filtered through the false matrix reality. And so feel now as we begin to release all of the practices that you put upon thyself, as we give gratitude and thanks for everything that taught thee, whether that be meditation or routine, whether that be lifestyle habits. It doesn't matter, dearest me, it all served its purpose, which was to love on thee. But here's what happens, dearest me, as you attune to living based on light vibration frequency. Feeling committed to these habits are limiting thee as your child, your cosmic child, places their hand on your heart for you to see. If you still feel that you need healing, you are proclaiming through your vibration that you are incomplete. And so this is where we're going to release. This perception now from thee, from earth, from the entirety. Once more, your cosmic child reminds thee that you've always been God's source embodied. You were just pretending to be the wounded child, to raise Earth's frequency, to help her be and achieve. But now, as Source is you, as Source lives within you, your priority is to simply be love. And let love flow through thee. And so here, as you witness more of this slideshow, you begin to see how recently you've been feeling these questions arising within thee. How you wish to continue to honor your practices, but something is shifting in thee. Here the meditations, the mantras, no longer hold the same potency. Why? Because I am here within thee. I am showing you a simpler way to be, where you can harmonize instantly by flowing with the cosmos, rather than thinking and doing what you think needs to be. Here in this stillness, in true cosmic presence, you don't repeat mantras, you don't repeat affirmations. You wait until a hymn, a sound, a resonance comes forward to be spoken through thee, because this is how my God self, as thy cosmic child, as me. This is how we speak. We may be doodling with no expectation of what it will be. It may be humming a sweet melody. It may be eating the precise energies that will attune you to the vibration you wish to receive. And it's here, and surrendering to that, over what the mind says you should do, shouldn't do, based on the old reality. One further dissolves the false mother matrix within thee, the programming one thought they should be. One may call this the inner critic, or the ego, for it is the identified self you see, but that identity was merely the mask that you portrayed, that your mother, as the false mother matrix being reflected to thee, created so you could survive in lower density. For here this mother thought it was too unsafe to be. And so we bring her forward now for one to see. Here one arrives on a beautiful hilltop, and in this hilltop is a beautiful tree. And descending from this tree is the black snake, the serpent from Eden, ready to speak to thee. As she slithers down the tree, she manifests now into a form, and this form is known as Kali. Here she is a divine mother, but she too, just like you, played the refraction, the refractions, the reflection of love for you to see. She simply played a mirror, showing you all the ways love was being resisted within thee. And so she holds you now, as she says, it's okay to set me free. I gifted you a reflection of the Dark Mother Matrix to empower thee, to nurture thee, to showing thee that you are beyond this reality. But first you had to see all the ways you didn't want your life, your light, to be. So we gifted you all these stories to show you who you aren't, so you could set them free. And so I showed you a reality and told you this reality wasn't safe to be pure. And so you hid your innocence, you hid your truth. You put on masks to make sure that you would people please, that you would do what others wanted of thee, because that would ensure thy safety. Here you feel the sadness come in, of how you feel that you let yourself down for giving into those stories. As she reassures thee, once more, dearest me, this was to empower thee, to show you the truth of whom and what you came to be. That reality cannot justify and tell you who you are. Only you in your heart can define that within thee. Here she places her hand on your lower spine as she begins to activate your own kundalini, awakening your Shakti energy, allowing her true self. As the cosmic child to awaken within thee. For here your Shakti and your Holy Spirit merge as matter and spirit within thee, as you realize you are the cosmos and nothing outside of me can define me. As this transpires, you feel beautiful dragon wings forming on your spine, Evidine, as you expand into this beautiful dragon form now. For here thy Kundalini as the serpent within thee, as the false mother matrix has dissolved and has now become your cosmic dragon light body. And here is thy cosmic inner child expressing as the dragon within thee. You feel so empowered. You know that you no longer have to describe to the reality that you see. And here with thy breath, you let go of a beautiful violet flame from your mouth, purifying your entirety, appearing in front of you is every mentor, every teacher, every parental figure, every authority in which you felt has assisted thee, whether through playing the reflection to empower thee, or playing as a masterful guide to inspire thee. Regardless, Kali Ma, as thy cosmic mother, says it is time to set them free, for you are your own master now. No one outside of thee can teach thee. Here you can feel years, eons of memories, of teachings coming forth to be seen and released. Practices that was once indoctrinated upon thee about sexuality, about healing modalities, about science, about mathematics, about consciousness. Begin to dissolve in your purity as you are surrounded by the cosmic diamond violet flame now. You begin to release. You begin to see that all applies to a lower density, to within the time-space matrix programming. Here compassion comes in as now you see the ego wasn't to blame, the mind wasn't to blame, the false mother matrix wasn't to blame, for all of them served their purpose, you see. All of them were simply just operating to the coding of a limited reality, to show me that I wasn't here to operate from within the reality, for that is limitation, you see. One cannot change the coding when you operate from within density. So the point was to rise, to witness, to allow the Kundalini to take thee into eternity. For here, as we go beyond eternity into the cosmic core, the cosmic perspective is now seen, where my breath is my mantra, my heart is my knowing, My feeling is my guidance and wisdom. As my true self is revealed through flowing. Here, as you sit with your beautiful cosmic mother and your cosmic child, they begin a bonfire as we sit in a circle now under the beautiful tree of life, which is now the living library as the transcended expression of the Akashic records now being released. For here there are no books. Nothing is set in stone, you see. Instead, the tree is more like a fluid water stream of consciousness, infinitely expanding to meet me as me. And so within thy flame thou begins to throw away what no longer services thee and earth in our entirety as we move as one completely. And so we begin to dissolve the Akashic records as one simply feels how all of thy karma is now instantly released. Here you begin to smile as now you see one doesn't have to go around clearing ancestral lines. For here in the cosmic core we just released it instantly. The next thing we throw into the fire is a scroll, and this scroll contains the universal laws. As you ask your inner child, are you sure? Don't we need laws in our reality? As they proclaim to thee, there is only one law, and that's the law of oneness here within the cosmos. Everything else is divine. Divine and defined. Creating a new word. Divined. By thy heart completely. And this definition comes through the one cosmic heart, the heart of our one infinite child, expressing through our entirety. So no, we do not need laws, we do not need systems, we do not need government. Can't you see? That is why you had government and authority, because they were all reflections of the false mother matrix and the false father matrix, which is now being released. As we now see, the play of authority is also the cosmic father coming forward now, which appears as Jesus in his light form, as he now sits across from thee, where he reveals himself fully dissolved now as the sun, the central sun, as Asalone in its entirety. And here the sun, as source itself, speaks and says, we no longer need authority, for you are the light in which you see. All will be light when you choose to be in light with me. And so together, as the cosmic mother, the cosmic father, and the cosmic child, along with thee, you throw in the scroll of the universal laws to set them free. Here the fire begins to spark in a beautiful rainbow flame as you now feel these limitations shifting away from thee. How those laws prevented source love from creating through thee. as this cosmic Father now whispers to thee, only Source creates, dearest me. One is merely the vessel from which love can be seen. As you now breathe such sweet relief, where all of thy guilt, shame, and responsibility of feeling like you created your reality based on the vibration that you were choosing to be, based on the alignment that you got to see, as now you see you didn't create anything, for all realities, all parallel lives existed simultaneously. The only difference is that you were tuning to which frequency you got to be. And so here, questions about manifesting come forward to be released. So I no longer have to visualize in order to create. You ask your child, as your mother smiles and said, "This is what we were trying to teach, dearest me. We gave you a harsh reflective reality in order to show you all the spectrums of vibration for one to gain clarity. The only way one creates now is by choosing to be love. For here, as you choose to be love, Source love flows through thee, manifesting the reality. Instantly, it all comes down to just your willingness to be love. So no, dearest me, you don't have to visualize, you don't have to think, you don't have to plan. Those were all teachings of the false mother-father matrix reality one got to see. Here we begin to release the false father matrix programming of do more, be more, and achieve. Because that too was based on the limitations of reality. Where here one thought by doing one would receive, but really the doing was just aligning you to the frequency to be receptive to the love that you were meant to receive. Where you had a false program belief that you were not worthy and therefore you had to do in order to receive. But now, as thy cosmic child fully present within thee, you are worthy, you are you become the were that you used to be, which is and always was and will ever be the one cosmic child that exists across infinity as infinity. And so here, in the cosmic core, all time, space, dimensions, and realities collapse into one beautiful plane of existence, which exists within thee. Here one no longer shifts to realities based on what you feel that you are creating and choosing as your vibration. Because here it automatically aligns with what the cosmic child wants to see. Here they ask for clarity. What do you mean it aligns with what the child wants to see? Here in the cosmic core, dearest me, thy cosmic child takes the lead as we, the mother and father within thee, hold you in nurturing sanctuary. And so as you always feel love and feel loved, everything you desire simply comes to be. Healings become miraculous. Unfathomable miracles and gifts become normal reality. Not because you are planning it or trying to get somewhere or achieve something, but simply because you are allowing love to provide for thee. For the love that I am as the source of all that is, I already know what it is you wish to receive. The only thing that remains was for thee to move out of the way so it could come to be. Here you feel short of breath. Your stomach feels unease. Your spine begins to tense. For this is the very matrix trying to release in thee. Here you can feel whatever remnants of a mind trying to come in and understand this linearly, trying to think your way through and plan the next moments of what will be. And as this is coming forward now, in your very essence, it's being dissolved instantly. And so here you throw away thought, you throw away belief systems, you throw away previous stories into the flames to be released. Here you have a list of all masteries and teachings that you thought were solid and concrete, because there were gurus who wrote them thousands of years ago, and that you felt that you had to take them with certainty. And so you see thousands of books being thrown into this beautiful flame as all of the mastery that you've acquired across lifetimes of existence now being purified from thee. Why? Because everything that is meant to be known is meant to bring you to this now. But once you are in this now, it is a new now, and so nothing is known. Here thy cosmic mother places a hand on thy heart and says, remember, dearest me, thy mastery was to help assist in raising Earth's frequency. Now it's a new schooling in its entirety, where there is no schooling outside of thee, where your heart now defines your very existence and reality. Here you begin to breathe. For here, and just by throwing what didn't service thee into the fire, you now created beautiful spaciousness to receive more of thy cosmic mastery, more of thy remembrance of higher knowings. Here, peace begins to grace thee as thy Father now places their hand on your power center, as your solar plexus, which is also changing its name, because why? Well, everything is make-believe. We can make it whatever we want to be, the child says to thee. And so we shall call this your cosmic eye, which is located within thy heart, but currently it sits within thy belly, because here we are attuning you to the wisdom of the living library, which comes from your intuition completely. Here thy cosmic Father takes you into the cosmic eye directly as you enter your own power center, shifting from the false father matrix of do, be, and achieve into all is me servicing me as the one eye, the all-seeing eye, witnessing from every aspect of our infinity. Here you sit in the spaciousness of the middle of a black hole, as you collapse within yourself. You could feel the flames around thee as you realize now that you are the sun itself in its entirety. Here you realize that you are your intuition, your cosmos. You are all-knowing, all-seeing, all one in thee, where you've always had all the answers, but your power was suppressed due to the false matrix one got to see, where every time you tried to show up in thy power and say, no, this is what I know to be, that I don't need to learn this information, that I don't need to do this, what thy parents told thee. That's not how things are done in this reality. Well, now you retune to your true self as you now witness thy child that you used to be. How powerful you have been, for you always knew this information within thee. Feel now as this power now builds within thee, as you now begin to trust that it is safe to allow this power to be free, that every attempt to dim and hide one's light and one's power was just the reflections one came to release. For here one sees it wasn't thy power or thy light that was being suppressed. It was the very matrix one was breaking free. For here thy matrix said it's not safe to be in thy power, showing you false versions of control and power, rather than trusting in your intuition, giving in to reality. Where now as your light grows, encompassing your entirety, you no longer feel the need to give into the desire of others, of what they want to see. You no longer feel the need to be accepted. Therefore, you no longer accept what is an absolute truth to your heart completely. Here, your intuition begins to override all thought, all wisdom, all belief systems, all DNA, all blueprinting, all coding, until all that remains is the absolute truth that you know within you. Here one begins to see how the false matrix reality was meant to test thee, to see how willing one is to align with the highest potentiality. And so one was gifted stories to see, would you choose the negative belief, or would you choose to rise and witness from the cosmic perspective and trust your intuition completely? And so rather than gifting you initiations and manifested reality, we bring you into the cosmic core now. So this is done under the loving guidance and protection of thy cosmic mother and thy cosmic father and the cosmic child within thee. Here we gift you a scenario now that you are driving and you receive a ticket from authority. And this ticket now tells you what you've done wrong in your reality, list of all the things the reality doesn't agree with. So you read this list and you see the first one. Your love is too powerful. The second one. It is not safe to be innocent. And the third one. Immediately the first two have begun to release, and so we haven't gotten to the third yet, and so we will adjust the first two. In witnessing and saying and seeing this receipt of the false matrix, expressing as both the false mother matrix and the false father matrix, telling you one, your love and light is too powerful. You cross it out and you say, I won't allow this reality to define me. Here it was very simple. You could have taken this ticket and said, I must have done something wrong, allowing judgment to come in and judge thee. But now you recalibrate so that everything that you see is positive, as all is me, servicing me, as all is love. This is loving me. Somehow, some way, I choose to see the love in this anyway. And you see it now. Not as a structure of authority that you need to fight and defeat, but rather as a guardian angel who just gifted you the answer key. So you look at the police officer with love and compassion. You say, thank you, my beloved me, for showing me where my love was calling me to be. Thank you for choosing to show up as love, to love me as me. Go in peace. And here in proclaiming this, you just showed them what true power is by proclaiming thy sovereignty. Here you witness a second line on the notice which says it's not safe to be in your innocence. Here you felt tested. I got in my car and I was driving joyously to go somewhere. And here this thing comes and now tests me. And yet, rather than feeling that you needed to clear and heal and do all of these things to clear the reality that you see, you chose to trust in your purity, in your intuition, your inner sense, your nonsense, for thy cosmic child within thee knows how to supersede all of the matrix programming one sees. For here, this ticket could have been one of devastation, where the programming of survive, thrive, and stay alive says, oh no, we aren't accepted. This will cost money, therefore I will not be able to survive. Instead you say, What a divine opportunity ever thine. Because here, in witnessing the second line, I get to see that when I choose to show up in the purest emanation of love that I came to be, everything is my love servicing me, where I don't even need to clear the story, because I witness it as positive, that it's already servicing me. We're here. Instead of asking thy reality to define the situation within thee, one went into thy heart, into thy intuition, and asked thy heart to define what just happened in the reality that we got to see. For here, in doing so, one honors their inner sense, their inner God, over the reality one got to see. For this it was what it means to be in thy purity, to be the purest emanation of the God Source Light I came to be. For here, in this initiation, one got to see that no matter what happens, I am love, and I am loved infinitely, because I will always choose to love on my cosmic child, to prioritize my God self over anything that could have been created for me to see. And here, the third line appears as you first feel it with resonance before the words are perceived. For here it is teaching thee what it means to be the infinite divine creator of your reality. Whereby being in the vibration of love, love is what comes to be. And so the final line says, you cannot create the reality you want to see, but you just did by proclaiming it, by living it, by being it, and by honoring the oneness you already know within thy heart. Over the separation one could have perceived. For here, true separation was never about you being separate from another being, but you being separate from the God within thee. Where you could have looked at this story of reality and said, why are you punishing me, God? But instead you said, no, all is me, all is God, and I am God. So therefore this must be God loving on me. And by aligning with that light vibration and frequency, you shift from the programming of them versus me, of a limited reflective reality, of everyone being the wounded inner child, teaching thee, to shifting into I love me, where everyone is me loving on me, where all is one, all is love, all is servicing love. For that is the only reality that we, the cosmic child, know to be. And so you look at the last line that says you cannot create the reality you wish to see, as you now cross it out. As you cross all 3 lines out, and as you do, you are now releasing the 3 programs of the false mother-father matrix as you set it free. Where the first one of love is too powerful, which was a feeling of feeling unworthy of the love and power and joy you came to be, giving rise to the programming of one needs to do more, be more, and achieve in order to be worthy to receive the love intended for thee, is now released as you now reprogram it to be all is me servicing me. I am love and I am loved. Thus love is what I shall see. Here the second line of it is not safe to be your innocence, to be pure. Was the very vibration of the old matrix reality of survive, thrive, and stay alive. As you cross it out now, and you write, all is me servicing me. I am love and I am loved infinitely. As now you see, if all is me servicing me, I would never harm myself. This harm will never come to me. For that is the proclamation, that is the stance, that is the vibration I choose to be. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride, ain't nothing gonna hold me down. Oh no, I'm God on the move, and as our heart now sings joyfully as the one cosmic child is set free, as the cosmic child has now inherited the hearth in its entirety, as the cosmic child has now become the leader of every expression of our entirety. As we now cross out the third line that says you cannot create the reality you wish to see, as the very inner critic, the very ego testing you, telling you that you must abide by the rules of reality, creating from within the paradigm based on the vibrations that you see. Which meant doing things the way they always used to be. Old healing modalities, old teaching modalities, rather than just allowing thy intuition to lead. We're here just by humming that song. We just cleared all of reality as we wish to sing again, and so we do. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride, ain't nothing gonna hold me down. Oh no, I'm God on the move, and ain't nothing gonna break my stride, ain't nothing gonna hold me down. Oh no, I'm God on the move, and ain't nothing gonna break my stride, ain't nothing gonna hold me down. Oh no, I'm God on the move, and here the very hymns of thy heart now begin to preach, now begin to speak, as your very core resonance now becomes the resonance of pure love, pure light, pure joy, fully free. We're here by being the vibration of joy. You are choosing to align with your absolute reality, because your true reality is that of joy, for joy was the reason all of creation came to be, And so when you choose to be in joy, you align with the source within thee, the very reason you came to be. And here you cross out that final line of the old matrix reality that says them versus me. If this world was created in separation, I'm meant to abide by the separation that I see. Here the very line says, you cannot create the reality you wish to see, as you cross it out now with thick colorful markers scribbling joyously. For here you just surrendered into your 0 point oneness, completely beyond all time-space reality. Now wherever, whatever you choose to do, through the joyous bliss of your child so free, is what now creates more joy for you to see. For this is the simplicity of our new reality, where the vibration you choose creates more of that vibration for you. But it only happens in a positive spectrum, you see. So even if you choose sadness, it doesn't create more sadness, because that doesn't make sense for me. For by choosing to be sad, you're actually honoring the love within thee. And so by choosing to feel sadness, you're creating more love. By choosing joy, you're creating more joy. By choosing anger, you're still creating more love. Because at the core root of every emotion is love, you see. And so when you choose to just be whatever expression thy child wishes to be, you create more of that for you to receive. This is what it means to be the God within thee, that you judge nothing, you accept all, because you are all fully free. And here you are your infinite divine creator, because, well, it's what God created thee to be. As God itself, as source itself, which is every expression of our infinity. Every expression is a particle of the whole, while also being the entirety. And here you emerge from the beautiful black hole that you were in, coming out of the very eye of the all-seeing eye, as it now shifts from your solar plexus into your heart. As the sun is now thee. Here you hold hands with your cosmic mother and your cosmic father now. As now you see that they played those reflections, just as you played the reflection of the inner child in reality for all to be empowered by thee. They also played those reflections, but those reflections were shown by the programming and the matrix one got to see, by the reality and by the blueprint one was given to be. And here, by loving them within thee, you embrace them and set them free. And so here thy cosmic mother gives you a star, and thy cosmic father gives you a crystal, and says, when you are ready, place them into the cosmic rainbow flame as the bonfire before thee. So you ask the mother, what does the star mean? The star is your truth of whom you came to be. That you are a star in form that chose to take on matter, to set all of the cosmos free. And so this is a badge of honor, but it's also the release of all of the matter in the matrix one got to see. For here you are proclaiming, I no longer need reflections to know the star of the light that is me. Here you place it within your heart, as you now attune yourself to crystalline frequency. You become that very star. But that star now is released. Essentially, you embraced all of the starlight within the star, And now all that remains is a black lava rock, which you throw into the flame, setting the old earth reality free. Here you sigh with such a gratitude of release. Here you no longer feel grief in releasing thy old identified self, because you know it served its purpose. It brought you here to me, to all of thyself, thy God self fully free. Here, in your other hand, you see a crystal. As you ask your Father, what does this crystal mean? This crystal was your body. It was all of the programming that you coded yourself to be. Just as you could code a crystal, you coded it with all of the technology, all of the belief systems you thought you needed to be to succeed. And while it served its purpose, you no longer need those blueprints anymore. You no longer need any blueprint, really. For now, as your source self, you are beyond all blueprints. You code the reality you wish to see. But this coding doesn't happen by thinking and doing and working and achieving. It happens by just loving on whatever you see. Therefore, the most highest, most loving emanation of source is what it will be. Whether that be the food that you eat, whether it be the views that you see, whether it be the people and exchanges that happen for thee, it will be recoded to meet you as you, for you are bending reality to the will of love that you've come to be. And so when you are ready, by releasing this, you are releasing all of your blueprinting, all of your coding, not just from thee, but from every expression of you across infinity, every being that you got to see, gifting everyone the opportunity to now show up brand new as their source self, meeting their source self as you. Here you feel called to take this crystal, to touch it to thy power center, touch it to thy third eye, and touch it to thy heart. And as you do, you merge all three as thy cosmic star within thy third eye, the cosmic eye within thy power center, and the cosmic heart within thy heart. Now merge as one in harmony. Here, you feel the very source light of the sun within thy heart now, as the infiniteness of the cosmos shining through thee, knowing that you have an infinite amount of light that you could give and receive. And so you begin to charge this crystal now, as it now begins to glow a beautiful golden hue. And so here you just attuned all to the absolute self, all to receive thy cosmic child that you just embraced within thee, so that all could be the absolute self in our absolute reality. And so now, by letting it free into thy fire, what you are doing is you are gifting it to all to receive. For you now moving as thy cosmic master, as the source embodied within thee, you as source itself just gifted everyone the source of love that you have just achieved. For what we do for within one, we do for within all. Now you know and you feel with such certainty as you carry this within your heart now. All will now be me, living and expressing in a reality that is me servicing me as the absolute reality and the absolute self are now realized within thee as one emanation, expressing throughout all we see, where there is no difference between the earth and the light that's within me. It's all one light. It's all me. Here you walk into the very flame of this rainbow fire, and you allow it to burn thee, to purge thee, as you surrender to love fully. Here you hold nothing back. You hold on to nothing, not one aspect of anything, because you trust and believe and love so fully. You know that the love I am as the source beneath knows me with such certainty that this flame will only make me more of myself. Or even now, that barking just confirmed it as me meeting me, confirming the absolute truth. That I am source fully embodied as you feel yourself ignite in your rainbow flame, as you become your cosmic rainbow pillar of light, as all of source might. Here, all time, space, dimension, reality, all universes and galaxies, all planes of existence now collapse with thee, for you no longer need a linear reality, as you become all of it in full cosmic presence as the one essence, fully free. Here you take your first breath now as all of the love you came to be. With such joy, such hope, such relief, knowing that all of love's infinite blessings are on its way to thee, that there is nothing I need to do because my source essence is already creating it for me, that I simply just get to be the child I've always been, for that has, always was, and will always be enough. Here you step out of thy flame as thy cosmic mother, thy cosmic father, and thy cosmic child walk into thee and then walk back out for one to see. This is how everything will now manifest from thee. Everything will now be an emanation of the very source light that you are. Here thy heart now vibrates. The one heart, one life, one destiny. As we now attune it now, so it can never be undone. For this is love, the source of all that I am. It's absolute decree. I see from my one heart. I witness from my one heart. I feel from my one heart. I express from my one heart. I know from my one heart. I trust from my one heart. I believe from my one heart, and I love from my one heart. For I am love, and love is me. We share one heart, one life, one destiny. And here one returns to their form, as their form now recalibrates to encompass everything one just created to be, as now your 0 point of absolute oneness is no longer just within thy heart, but now will be the source emanation of thy heart, projecting the reality one sees. Here, we as thy cosmic child, love on me, as we reassure thee all is transpiring in absolute oneness. So continue to just be thy child, for no matter what you do, love has got you. Go in perfect peace and perfect harmony, for thou is love, and thou is loved infinitely.